All right, guys. A good Monday to you. Joe's going to do some push-ups that we're going to show you in this video. So I don't know, maybe he'll do about 200 or 300 of them. He's going to have some where he's more on the inside of his shoulders, and he's going to move out where he's on the outside of his shoulders to do them two different ways from set to set. I'm not going to do any, or he's not going to do any decline today, but so get ready. Got a little story for you. We had an incident across the street at the park. A lot of stories to give while we're here in South America. But anyway, I'm going to get him started on the push-ups. You'll keep you count. All right, and we'll see what you do. And of course, later on, we'll have a short video with bag work and stuff. We're in the house today. We'll be back in the gym tomorrow, probably. You know, we got a lot of equipment here in the house, so we don't necessarily have to go to a gym every day, but it's good to go. There's more equipment there, and it's good to have people around you because it pushes you a little harder. How many you doing that set?
20.
All right, you're going to do them in 20s, you think? All right. Well, you don't have to go too fast. Just do it at the pace you want to do it. So we were over at the park the other day, and Joe will correct me if I get anything wrong. We walk in, and at the far side of the park, there was a weird guy down there. He had a hoodie on. And of course, it's 90, 95 degrees here. You're walking around with a hoodie on, it's a lot more suspicious here. So anyway, we go in, and the dude is standing down there. A neighbor whom has his dog is down there, probably about 5 yards from him. He was very close to him. And he looks up at us and points at us, and I point to myself, me, and he's like, you know, to signal me, myself, or me and Joe. And he's like, yeah, and then the next thing I know, he's attacking the neighbor. So Joe and I gave chase and got him down there, and as soon as we got down there, the neighbor was able to get more bold because he knew he had help. And that's what neighbors are supposed to do, is help one another. So anyway, Joe gave chase. Rocky was not leashed. Rocky started chasing the guy, and they go around one tree, and because the guy's going around the one tree, and as he comes back around the other side, because I was obviously slower getting there than Joe, I was able to pepper spray him, direct contact, right in open eyes. Now I was holding that little pepper spray can up, and got him right in the face, about 3 foot from him. And he pulled back, and we got two different styles of pepper spray that we use. One of them is like a mist, but it won't go so far, and one of them's like a stream. And the one that streams out and goes maybe 8 to 10 yards from somebody, it takes a couple of minutes before it'll, or not a couple of minutes, but 30 or 40 seconds before it starts getting vicious on you and taking effect. But the other one, that is more of a mist, boy, it'll start right off. But, excuse me, I hit him with the stream one right in the eyes, and he turned around, and then just a couple of seconds later, you know, he was having an extreme hard time seeing, and he was trying to go for a knife or something, and I hit him again with it right in the face, went up his neck and got a direct hit, and there again an opened right eye, and then the guy went fleeing, and we was hollering at him, don't come back here, don't come back here, and the neighbor was thanking us because he was trying to mug the neighbor, you see. And we just don't, if we're around our neighbors, we're going to give assistance to our neighbors. And that's a big portion of what's wrong in this world today. Nowadays, and especially here in Columbia, you can have a next door neighbor. It could be a 80-year-old man or woman, and them not be seen for 3 months, and the next door neighbor won't think twice about it because people aren't caring about each other. And of course, in the United States or in England, these things go on too, but they go on in the bigger cities. And we've got to get away from that mentality and that aura of being, because it's negative and it's satanic and it is spirit-led. And you don't want to be that way. And that's, you can't rely on government to protect your neighbor. And then I had several other neighbors where, well, what if he, goes to the police or something, because the police would probably side with the criminal. And my direct replies were, well, I was willing, 100% willing to take that risk, but 0% willing to take the risk of one of my neighbors getting hurt right in front of me. And I hope that if you've had situations like that and you haven't got involved, that maybe it be you. Maybe there's one person out there I'm talking to right now that you'll assist somebody, or your neighbor, or somebody that can't defend themselves or something, and in a situation that you'll help out. That is what we are supposed to do. We are not animals. We are human beings, and we are supposed to help one another. And even in the wild, animals will help one another and pack together. And when an intruder comes, they'll all defend the pack. And we're losing that. So.
140.
So he's got 140 right now. I just don't know how to get you. I'm going to try to move the camera here, guys. And see. I'm going to try something here, you guys. So you can see Joe a little better. No. Well, I was looking for that little orange thing, but it's not there. But when you go down, I'll just point it down when you get ready. So you got 140, huh? And how many minutes we've got here? About almost 9 minutes.
6, actually.
Or 6 or 7, because I started talking first.
$160.
160. But I've brought Joe up to get involved, to help the weaker person out, to go after the bully if you see somebody bullying. And I'm very proud of Joe because he was in military school one year. I was able to afford and had him in military school. And right going through it didn't take him no time, and he was the commandant of the fourth grade. Yeah, he was in the fourth grade that year. And so you got to try to help your kids be a leader and help your kids to protect the weaker kids and stand up for good for a change. And if you didn't do that in your lifetime, and especially if it's caused you problems, the best thing you do is change it with your children and bring them up better with something better than what maybe you had. And that's just what you should do. You should give proper discipline and fairness and goodness and love and kindness and all these good things rolled up into one package. But you have to have the sternness in that package too. And you need to draw upon it when you need it. And it's just what you need to do. And so I thought I'd share that story with you. And it's just got to, and especially if you've got a young man in this day and age. With the girls, you got to teach them some different things. But you know, with your young men that you're raising up, they teach them how to walk in a room and be the it factor in the room. Teach them how to walk in the room and be the alpha male in the group. And they'll attract good things if you do. Weakness breeds weakness, and strength breeds strength. And don't think for 1 minute around here that we're Christians, that we're weak people. I'm going to tell you something. The strongest man ever come upon this earth was Christ himself in a human body. And I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, 500 well-equipped soldiers came after him at some point, and they were physically shaken. The commanders of that legion were physically shaken at Christ's presence, and they went and left and said, I believe he was who he was. And we got what I believe, and what many historians believe, accurate accounts of Pilate describing to Rome, I believe this man was who he said he was. And it took fortitude we don't have to do what he did walking on this earth, folks. And he didn't even own a place to lay down. He didn't own a donkey. He lived life as a poor man, and it's commendable. I'm not telling you to go be poor, but I'm telling you it took strength, and it was very commendable, and stuff mere man will never possess. And then to offer yourself up on that cross and go through all that took more fortitude than any of us and anybody that'll be watching this. And we need not forget, I can't remember where the verse is at, but it says, none is greater than he who would give his life for that of his friends. None is greater than he who would give his life for that of his friends. And you don't see that much no more. And I'm here to tell you the reason you don't see it is because men are not raising men any longer. You got boys having children, and they're ill-equipped to raise a man because they're not a man themselves. So it's a lot in this world, but you can change that in a flip of your mind. Another thing we do around here, Joe enjoys, he's got a couple of games that he plays, and he's got a couple of series that he watches, and of course he watches boxing as well. And he's studying a lot, always busy doing something, but he's not sitting for 6 hours a day coming in from school and thumbs on a tablet or on a computer controller. And if you got a kid that's doing that, you're not doing a good job. I hate to be honest with you. And you need to really get more involved with your child. I have literally been in many homes where a dad will have his sorry behind piled up on one of these big, huge sectional couches. 10 feet in front of him's a TV he can't even really watch because it's too big, covering a whole wall. And the wife piled up in a bed, and then everybody communicating and texting each other from within the house. You know, the children. Where are you getting the food from tonight? Because mama sure ain't going to make it, or dad's not going to make it. And literally many families I've met, they order out junk food every night, and then they wonder why their kids get obese or unhealthy or all these allergies and different things. And we just don't do that. It's old school up in around here. Old school. How many you got?
260.
He's got 260 right now. Maybe we'll go a little over 300. Because I'm going to tell you another wee bit little story. For those of you who are into boxing, especially in Great Britain, and maybe you watch some tutorial videos or boxing news or things like that for tidbits of information that may help you along. Especially those of you in Great Britain, you probably know who Tony Jeffries is. Well, I think Tony Jeffries is living in Las Vegas or California right now, but he's an Englishman. And he put a video out, I believe Friday or Saturday, talking about if you go to a gym, he had 5 major red flags, and he was portraying that the biggest red flag was, it had a lot of red flags in there, such as hard sparring multiple times a week, and you don't need to be doing that. Joe went through that 3 times a week, but it was at my behest and direction from a Venezuelan professional. That's how I wanted to see, does he have the heart for this, and does he really want to do it? Because this is a hard sport. It's not, this ain't basketball or badminton. Not that either two of those things are bad. But anyway, Tony was, his big red flag, maybe his biggest, was if they're old school up in that gym. And I replied back with a good, very long paragraph telling him, I don't think that's so, Tony, in a very respectful way. I told him, I said, I think what you have heard old-timer stories in the UK and different places you've been in the world, and boy, we got a lot of old stories that we tell, but the fact of the matter is we didn't have the assembly line boxing. You were getting more attention, but you may not be getting it from the man, but everything was being filtered down from the man, and they'd put 2 to 4 guys together and let them work. So you'd have a very experienced boxer in there, and maybe a guy that's been doing it a year, 2 or 3, and then maybe 2 more guys that were just new, to boxing. But there was a buddy system that went on in these gyms, at least everywhere I had been, and it was a lot different. And the YMCA's were like that. The private gyms were like that. They were all like that in my experience. And you were actually more protected, and there was less mess in any one gym, because the head man come in there and he says stop, everybody stopped. There was no BS, no baloney, no blasting music, but a lot of respect going on, and a lot of times people had to be taught a lesson. I was taught a lesson or two myself, and they're not pleasant. Getting in there playing around and being funny, and this is not the sport to do that. It's just not the sport to do that. So I just wanted to let you guys know how about acting like that online as well, as crazy as the online world of unreality is, and get in real reality while you're online. And if you have a disagreement with someone, do it in a better way instead of just going over there, well, that's dumb or that's stupid. If you can't give anything constructive in criticism, you shouldn't be saying anything at all, nor should I. You need to give an explanation behind your critiques of someone, because it's all about spreading information. And although we don't show a lot that we do here, and those of you that have been watching this channel for a good while know that I keep things close to my vest and only show a little bit of what we do. And the reason this channel exists is to show a little bit of what we do, just a tad, but to motivate others and to let you know, is to the victors go the spoils. All this is about your work ethic. Waste not, want not. You waste your talent, you'll be in want. Idle hands are the devil's workshop. If you're not busy, something bad's going to creep up on you physically and mentally. And it's going to be maybe a fat, weak body. Then comes along with it the other mental things, getting blasted at school because, maybe you're too fat or too skinny or something like that. And you're not walking in confidence. So walk in confidence, guys. How many you got now? You going to stop there? All right, so he's going to stop at 350. Good job, son. So I want to tell you guys, we love you. We hope everybody has a great week. If you come around or see a short come around, Joe will be doing some reflex bag work. I'll take a segment or two of that and put it up in the shorts venues. And we're going to move on to some other things, but there's probably things that won't be interesting or very motivating to you, and personal, really, I'm lying to you. Really, there are things I don't want to show you that we work on because I don't want to give away everything. So, mad respect if you stuck through this video, and we love you, love you, love you. And I'll leave you with this up in here. Christ is our King, our Lord, and our Savior, and we hope He is up in where you are too. Have a great week, guys.